Hello, my name's Sarah Klapka, and this is my project for psychology on Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. First, I have the summary of the book. The story's about a young boy named Max who's constantly getting into trouble, and his mother's often busy with work and her boyfriend and doesn't have time to pay attention to him, so he feels really neglected. He goes to bed and drifts off into this imaginary world where there are monsters or wild things, as he calls them. And in this world, he becomes the king and rules the land. So he makes friends with all of the creatures, and mainly Carol and KW. All the creatures don't really get along, as he finds out being king isn't that easy. So he's lonely and he yearns to go home. And when he does go home, he finds dinner waiting for him. Okay, so for Freud's psychoanalytic theory, Freud believed in the unconscious strongly, which was the mental process which a person is not aware. So this was strongly evident in the book. It showed his denied wishes, which kind of showed how he wanted to have friends when, like in the reality, Max was like a loner, but in his dreams he had like all the friends, the monsters were his friends. And how he wanted to be like in control of what was happening in his life. Like with his mom, he wanted her to pay attention to him, and he like wanted to control everything, which in his dreams, in the unconscious, like he could, but in reality he couldn't. And that's pretty much it for that slide. So also more things in the story represent the unconscious would be when Carol tells Max to keep out all the sadness when he first gets to the island. It's symbolizing Max's own sadness by unconsciously through the dream. Carol also is an important character because he kind of plays Max in a way, like he symbolizes him through a lot of the things he does and how he acts. Like he gets really angry and he doesn't know how to control his anger. And they even say the same words that the mother said to Max. So what happened was Max says to Carol, "You're out of control," which is what his mom said to him. So you can see like how from reality it transferred to the unconscious of his dreams. As for like in the story, Max would have a weak ego because he doesn't know how to defend against like anxiety, and that's why he acts out. Like when his mother tells him to like calm down and go upstairs, he bites her and runs away. So he doesn't know how to control himself. And his super ego shows when he feels guilty about biting his mom later on. And then his ID would be his desire to have friends and satisfy his like urges for attention. Next I put Max would be kind of stuck in the oral stage because when he bites his mom, that would show like oral tendencies that would represent the oral sadism. And also he likes to like make a lot of noise, and when he runs around the house and he howls a lot with the monsters. And also he goes into one of the monsters' mouths and comes back out, which is kind of like a rebirthing moment. So they're constantly talking about eating in the story, which also has to do with the oral idea. So this oral character is characterized as optimistic, independent, and passive. But when they're in conflict, the opposite happens, which you see in Max a lot, where he's like depressed, pessimistic, and runs away from his problems. And now for the Jungian theory. Jung believed the personal unconscious was derived from an individual's experiences, but he also believed it was from overall experience. Like he would say that everyone has the desire to have friends, as Max did. And then the archetypes that Max portrays in the story would be the hero trying to help the monsters. Max's shadow also comes out a lot in the story. While he seems to be a nice boy, his emotions tend to get the best of him with his temper tantrums. And then the monster that mirrors him, which would be Carol, also represents this. And then for other archetypes, there's the Great Mother, which which could be given to KW because she kind of is his mom figure in the book, in his own imaginary world. But then also when he comes back to the reality, his own mother, and the king, him being the king, so it goes along, like I said before, with the hero thing. He's often the hero archetype. It's seen as like a weak character, which Max is, because he can't solve his own problems, but he tries to help others. And also, Jung believes in mythology, and like his mythical dreams kind of like went with all of that. And so his imagination basically helps him realize reality. And Jung also believed how a person acted in dreams were based on the obstacles in his real life. So how he acted in the dream, like he wanted to make all the monsters happy, which in reality he couldn't make himself happy. So yeah, and here are my references, and that's all. Thank you.